Okay, well, I guess it's one of those things. Busking festivals are pretty much established throughout the world. Really, I mean, there are people who do this as a full time job, and what they do all year is they tour and entertain on the streets of everywhere. So it wasn't a unique idea or anything. It's all a matter of um, wondering or appreciating the the art form and wanting to be involved with it. And I've wanted to do that for a long time. I've always enjoyed myself at Busker's festivals, and I think that they're probably and one of the most amazing processes of entertainment and participatory entertainment where the audience feels probably so involved with what's going on and actually does get physically involved in it. So, anyway, so the idea of doing it in Brantford certainly always, since I've been here, has always been alive. But then the specific reason, I think it's more important to ask the question of why Eagle Place, because that's really the more driving force in terms of what it is that we were doing. Eagle Place has had a long tradition of community entertainment. In the old days, 100 years and 75 and 60 years back, a lot of it driven not so much on the street, but through the park, through Tootla Park, Wesley United, all kinds of different groups. They would be in holding types of entertainment for the public in the outdoor sphere. So this was really kind of harkening back to that type of process that I thought was a good thing then and deserved. So it's kind of a modern day sort of interpretation of that long time tradition. And so the Buskers is the correct, for me anyways, the most, was the best choice to move that forward. The other thing is that I belong to the Eagle Place Community Association as well as being artistic director of Recovery Theatre. The Recovery Theatre being the organizer and the host for the Buskers Festival. Anyway, one of the things that we've always had as one of our goals in all the things that we do is to try to do things that bring the family together and are totally appreciative from all ages, and grandparents and parents and kids can go to the same event and probably get the same level of enjoyment from it. Once again, the Buskers is just so so perfect if you have one of those goals in place. So once again, that's one of the goals and one of the reasons why I thought it was so accurate. And the third reason is we have a struggling community in ways. We used to be the center of the universe when it came to manufacturing and business. Eagle Place drove the city. It was surrounded by the companies that made the city prosperous in the day. And as a result, there were a lot of development of shops and retails and things like that that sort of were a part of that environment, which I think is creates a kind of a healthy community. I think it's good to have a thriving business community within. And all of that, once the downturn in the manufacturing sector, all of that has even left the community. It's all moved north or elsewhere, and what we're left with is kind of just a mere shadow of what the business community used to be like in the area. And this is an attempt to address that. I think it's really important for retail in particular to have a guarantee, well, not so much a guarantee, but to be able to rely during the year of significant times when they can feel the weight of traffic around their stores. And so and we know this is not going to be felt in the first number of years. The first year, for example, we had 2,000 visitors to the Brantford Buskers Festival, and we're pretty pleased with that. I think that's a real success, but that's still not going to be an engine, for a revitalization of our retail and business, or in particular our retail core. It's going to wait until it's really going to have an impact when it gets up to 30, 40, 50,000 and more. This type of thing. And so the theory behind all of this is that if our retail sector has one or two or even three key moments of the year, key times of the year, when it is given a population base of 50, 60,000 for a period of 2 or 3 or 4 days, that this will provide a time when they can benefit by having a good percentage of their year's needs completed. So, for example, if we had the Buskers Festival, and in its mature form, a retailer could see about 25 or 30% of its needs to keep its staff going and whatever fulfilled during that time. It really pays for them, to keep open for the rest of the year. So if we can create 2, 3 of those types of events that will anchor our retailers, we'll do 2 things. Number one, we'll support the ones that we have, which is key, but also will, I think, help to transform the type that we have. It will increase. People will think, companies or retailers will think that it's more advantageous to locate in Eagle Place, and also it will give a little bit more variety of the types of places, because we're not now serving just the Eagle Place community. They would be serving in a position to be serving a much broader community. So those are the 3 kind of reasons for looking at Eagle Place and developing there the historical context of the street, outdoor festivities, the family, the attraction to family entertainment, and the hope that it will build some type of base for our retail and business community.
Well, both our parents were actually clowns growing up. We kind of grew up in the family business. Most kids do chores and stuff growing up to get an allowance. We went and volunteered and were basically assistants for our parents at birthday parties and stuff, and that's kind of how we got into it originally. There was a juggling club when we moved to Brantford 7 years ago called The Best.
Brant Entertainers Skills Team.
And my father found that out to try to find entertainers, and then he saw juggling there, and he thought, oh, that'd be really cool if my kids got into it. So he brought us there, and we got fascinated, and ever since then we decided to do this professionally, just busking, juggling, ballooning, face painting, all that fun stuff. So that's kind of how we got into it.
The one interesting fact of busking is the fact is it's not like a normal job where no matter how hard you work, you only get the same paycheck, but a little extra if you work really hard. But for busking, like if you really practice and really train, you can get a lot more money, or do bigger shows by just trying a little harder. So that's what kind of really cool about busking.
You work for what you want to get.
Yeah. And the buskers are really amazing because they're really open to share. They're not very private. They're willing to tell you like all they have to tell, and it's really nice to meet people that are so enthusiastic and so inspiring about busking. So
at least from my experience, when we go to Busker Fest and we go to other things, it's not so much a competition. It's more we're all in this together. Let's all have fun. Let's enjoy it. Let's have a blast, kind of thing, So it's more of a collaboration rather than a competition, at least from my experience. There's actually a club in Brantford called the Brant Clown Alley, and there's clowns. Not all of them are clowns, but the majority of them are clowns or performers of some sort, and they get together and they practice what they know and share what they know with each other, and tell each other stories about what happened and certain job aspects, and it's really nice, and almost anybody's welcome to go to it, and they make it very open and welcome to new people. Now I want to do this full time, and this is it's like my job, and I love it. You know, just laughing and making other people laugh. It's fantastic.